Good morning. I want to share with you all a very realistic as possible morning routine. Sometimes I feel like I have to be that girl when actually I want to be this girl. This girl that is living her truth and doing things that feel good for me. And being this girl is actually inspired by Boots. They actually wanted me to share my routine that is super authentic to me and one that isn't filled with pressure of having to be or do certain things, and instead something that is so realistic and the things that I do when there's no cameras on. And as you guys know, Boots has everything in there from head to toe. Beauty, skincare, hair care, supplements, you name it, they have got it. So today I'm going to share exactly that. One of the first things that I do in the morning, which is a little bit weird, but I'm super grateful and lucky that I am able to do this, and that is waking up without an alarm clock. So I like to wake up naturally when my body wants to wake up, and that is usually anywhere between 6:45 to 7:15. Sometimes it can be after, and that just depends on if I'm really tired and my mind and body needs that extra rest. And ever since I've started doing this, I feel this really beautiful sense of calm every time I wake up. Now, that is not to say that I never use an alarm clock. Of course, there are times where I have meetings, I have places to be, or I have certain things that I need to get done by a certain time, and that's when I will use the help of an alarm. 9 times out of 10, I generally wake up just before my alarm goes off. And my grandma used to tell me this when I was younger, that if you say to yourself you want to wake up at 6 o'clock, your body will wake itself up. And I used to think like, that's not true. But the older I've gotten, I genuinely feel like it works. So as soon as I get up, I sort my hair out. If I don't do this, I just know I'm not going to do it for the rest of the day. And I always like to sleep with my hair in a very loose French braid. And I feel like this just makes my waves look and feel nice and fresh. That feels better already, but I am going to tie my hair up. And this is just so that it's out of the way for the rest of the morning. And I love to use a silk scrunchie for this. And using something gentler like this means that there's less chance of any breakage, and it's just safer for my hair. So now I'm going to move on to the next thing I do in my morning routine, which I feel really helps set the tone for the rest of the day. This back here is my red light therapy panel, and I will sit in front of this for a good 10 to 15 minutes. This is actually where I sit to meditate. So I take all the benefits of red light therapy and I sit and meditate for as long as I possibly can. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's 20 minutes. Sometimes I'll listen to my meditation playlist, sometimes I will do mantra meditation with my beads, sometimes I will just focus on my breath. Even if I can only get a few minutes of this in, I will do that, because this just makes me feel like I start the day on a positive note. I feel so much better already. I would go on my vibration plate next, but I like to switch this up with dry brushing. So I'm gonna go back into the bathroom, shower, brush my teeth, kind of feel physically ready for the day. I'll alternate between the vibration plate and dry brushing. This is a really gorgeous dry brush. It's from the company Kitsch from Boots, and I love that the bristles are soft and they don't scratch your skin. Before I do any kind of dry brushing, I make sure all my lymph nodes are opened up. So I kind of tap 5 to 10 times in all these different areas of my body. I'll leave the exact order that I do that in the description box. And then when I dry brush, I always go up towards my heart. And this gets the lymph system moving. It's also great for exfoliating your skin. And fun fact, I didn't know this, but dry brushing is actually an Ayurvedic practice. So now that my dry brushing is done, I'm gonna hop in the shower and then come out, do my skincare and brush my teeth. Teeth are brushed, tongue is scraped, and now I'm gonna do my skincare. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I've done like the millions of skincare step routine. I've done the minimal nothing. And what I do now is I actually listen to my skin. I see what my skin needs that morning and then use products accordingly. And as always, I'm super mindful about the ingredients that I put onto my skin and also into my body. But I'll show you some of the products that I'm using at the moment. This is the L'Oreal Revitalift Filler Eye Cream. I love this, I've used it for years, and it's so good at hydrating my under eyes without making them feel heavy. And side note, I always just want something quick and easy in the mornings. I don't want to feel like I've got to do so much. So the next thing I'm going to use is my serum, and the one that I want to use today is the Caudalie Vino Perfect. And this I find is really good if you've got any kind of hyperpigmentation. I've been using this for a couple of years now, and I feel like my skin just soaks this up. Out of all of these products, I will probably switch up the serum the most, depending on what I need that day, but that is one of my favorites. Next up is SPF. This is the beauty of Joseon SPF, and I love that you can get so many amazing Korean skincare brands from Boots. And I remember when I wanted to get this years ago, I ordered it from some like random website, but now I can literally pick it up from Boots down the road. And this SPF has no white cast whatsoever, and it's very, very hydrating as well. And SPF is something that I try to use as often as possible. And because I'm off for a walk with 2-pack, I couldn't skip this step. I think that is all I'm gonna do for my skincare this morning. Let's get 2-pack ready and head on out. Good morning, my little chinky puppies! Hi! Are you ready? Are you ready? Come on, hen! Yeah, let's go! Good boy. Come on in! Go do wee-wee, okay? Ready? Come on in! Boy! Come on in! Oh my goodness, good morning, my little good morning boy! How could I forget my morning cuddles with 2-pack? This is a non-negotiable for me. We always have a cuddle, don't we? We'll have a cuddle on the sofa, and then mommy asks you, did you have a good sleepy? Did you have a good rest? Are you nice and relaxed? Are you ready for the day? Yeah! Okay, mommy, ask you a question. Are you hungry? Do you want mama? Yeah! Right, we'll feed him. I'm gonna feed him and then we'll go for a walk. Toops has finished eating. I am getting ready. I always get my cap on, get my headphones on, and I always keep my headphones on like at the back like this, so I have access to what's going on around me as well as my meditation playlist. Oh, I need to grab. I had to make sure I've got 2 bread sweets in my bag. So now that I am ready, we are also ready, aren't we, Dave? So we're gonna go walkies. Let's show everyone what you look like. Come here. I got my harness on and we're gonna go walkies. We're gonna go find the squiggles. We're gonna go find the birdies. Yeah, come on. Come on, Bubs, let's go! Going out for a walk is like me time. This is probably one of my favorite things to do in my morning routine. I feel like everything is favorite. I feel like I've got this like routine going where I love every single step, but being out in nature, listening to my meditation playlist, spending time with 2-pack, taking in the fresh air, it is so healing. One of those things that hits mind, body, and spirit for me. And I genuinely cannot imagine my life without going on walks. I like to think of my walks as a meditation in itself because I am so lost in my meditation music, which I will leave a link to in the description box. It makes me so happy. Like, I notice a difference when I've been to a walk, and if, let's say, it's raining really badly or something and I've not been, I can also tell the difference in me. And the more trees I can be around and the more just nature I can be around, that is my favorite place to walk. I'd like to do a mixture of either forest or fields, and they just genuinely make me so happy. And this little guy loves them too. Yeah, he gets his morning sniffies in, don't you? Ready, steady, morning. Good boy. I mean, just look at the nature. The nature glow is real. And just like that, we are back at home, aren't we? Yes, we are. Oh, yeah. Toops now will be snoozing pretty much all day, won't you? Yeah, you little snoozy pops. Right now, I am having my chia seed, lemon, and ginger powder water. There are so many benefits to having chia seed water. It's full of fiber, it's great for your skin, and also the ginger and lemon is in there to help like detox and flush out any kind of toxins in my body. This is how I start my day, and truth be told, I have not been on my A game when it comes to supplements recently, and I feel like I always go through phases of being really good and then stripping it all back and just taking what I feel like I need. And recently I have been feeling really tired, and I was like, do you know what? The one thing I want to focus on is my iron. And this is the iron that I take. It's from this company called Spatone, and it is iron-rich water with vitamin C. I literally just opened up a new box because I was running low on these, and I kid you not, I look in so many places to order these, but the one place that always has them in stock is boots. And depending on how quickly I need them, or even if I've forgotten I've ran out in my fridge, I will just do a click and collect order and pick them up the next day from Boots. So this is my go-to supplement at the moment. And it also tastes so good. So it's like a liquid in here, and that is it. Easy peasy, tastes amazing. I've just had a history of being on and off low on iron. So this is the one supplement that I feel like I know I need to take regularly. So as I'm drinking my lemon and chia seed water, I thought I would just have a bit of a mental health check-in with you guys. Since my first video way back in August, I haven't actually kind of sat down and told you how I'm feeling. And I thought this would be a nice way to kind of have a catch up. I've weirdly felt this like pressure just leave me ever since saying it out loud that I'm no longer Kaushal Beauty, I'm just Kaushal. Like there is so many facets to who I am, and that you'll be seeing a bit of everything. And I was so scared to put that out there, Hannah. I was like putting off filming the video and everything. And ever since I've done it, it's weird because so many of you have noticed, especially on Instagram, I get messages all the time like, I love this version of you. It's like I'm shining again. Yeah, I couldn't be happier with the feedback that I've got from you all, and just being able to be my true authentic self with you, like I have been in this video, showing you my routine and telling you I'm not the best at it, and I try to stick to things, but I also have to try and be fluid depending on, let's say, the weather, if I can't get out for a walk, or let's say I have like a day full of meetings that I can't kind of get everything done in my routine. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't want to be that girl on social media, like trying to be this version of me that's so curated for social media. I just want to be this girl who's just trying to stay afloat at times when life does get stressful, when life does get a bit too much, but just being true to me. Actually, my husband's right next to me. How do you think my mental health has been over the last, I don't know, couple of months?
Last couple of months? Good, I think. Generally, no.
He's like, good, I think.
Yeah, you've been more like positive, vibrant, your vibrant self. I think that's your baseline.
My baseline is my vibrant self,
That's
when I'm
right.
not my vibrant self.
I tell them what my nickname is for you.
Oh, his nickname for me is Bubbles, because I'm really bubbly. He yesterday literally was like, oh, guess I haven't called you for a while. And I was like, what? And he was like, Bubbles. And I was like, I need a really fun nickname for you.
I'm calm, so I don't know what you...
Cool, calm, collected.
But yeah, you've just been yourself, I guess. I think years of feeling like you need to be someone you're not.
Yeah.
Because I think the industry can try to pull you one way.
Yeah.
Plus, I think everyone's trying to pursue growth, and everyone wants to be bigger, better, richer, but it's almost like costing them their soul. And then you have to ask, are you actually happy? Like, where are you going? What's the point?
So true.
What's the end goal?
I've done so many like panels and things, and people always used to ask me, where do you see yourself in 5-10 years time? And they would ask like the panel, and like some of the guys on the panel, they'll be like, oh, I want to create this, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. And it'd come to me and I'd be like, I just want to be happy. And it was like the weirdest, I suppose, answer of everyone sitting on the panel. But I was like, I genuinely just want to be happy. And it's weird because the last few years, I didn't feel that happiness. Or that happiness I almost felt like I had to force, especially when I was showing up online, like in my job. But now I am genuinely happy with what I'm doing, with the direction that I'm going in, like the path that I'm on. I actually feel really happy.
I think you've got like freedom.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. Very, very lucky. I think I fell into this whole career, right place, right time. It could have been anyone, right?
You could say, obviously, everything's the right place, right time.
Yeah.
But you also made those efforts.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think as well, like, because the career didn't exist, it wasn't like a prominent career that people would pursue. You did it for fun. You did it because you were passionate about it.
I did it for the fun, and I think I mentioned this in my first video back, that like the fun was getting sucked out of me, and it's really weird. Since I've just tried to be more just me, I've like stopped watching other people's like social media. So I don't watch any of the vlogs. I try not to scroll on social media and see what other people are up to. I just share what I want to. And I think that for me, that's actually how I started YouTube, because I never used to watch YouTube when I did my first video. I just did my first video and just thought, oh, this is really fun. And I feel like I've got back to that. So overall, my mental health and mental space and my well-being and my wellness journey and just everything just feels really right. I feel like I'm back at where I was when I first started this journey into like the online space, with obviously extra people by my side, but was boyfriend then, now husband, and then my first son over here. Actually, we had some friends over for Dosti Diwali. I don't know whether you've seen that video of mine, but we went around the table and Vex was like, let's answer loads of questions. And one of the questions was, what's one thing that you really struggle with, but you don't say out loud?
Yeah, often enough.
Like often enough, yeah.
Or at all. Which is good, because a lot of people were quite vulnerable. They didn't, like, we were surprised by some
yeah.
Said.
And one of our friends was like, I feel like I don't feel like good enough. And weirdly, it was so comforting hearing that, because it was like, oh my God, like none of us are alone in this. And when he shared what he shared, literally the first thing I said to him was like, first of all, thank you so much for sharing that. But second of all, you'll be surprised at how many of us at this table feel the same way as you. And that feeling of unworthiness was like such a heavy feeling for me. And I think it comes in waves.
It's also like, I think it's a reflection of society. I think so many people are going through things, having like silent battles that they don't feel comfortable enough to talk about, or they don't know how to talk about, or they don't have anyone to talk about with. A lot of the public figures that we know, and from the outside, you'd think that their life is perfect.
Yeah, they've got everything sorted. They've got everything, all their ducks in a row. Like everything's good.
But there's just so many challenges, and you would say it's a privileged stance to have challenges while you're living in such a like fancy home and having all these fancy things. But
having a fancy life, having a fancy job.
But it just shows you that those things don't necessarily contribute, or don't define your happiness. They can contribute to it. They can create freedom, like for example, not having like financial stress can create freedom to some degree. But then if you don't have real friendships, or if you don't have a supportive partner, or if you don't love what you do, or if you're constantly lost in like the hustle and bustle of chase, like, are you actually content in your life? Or are you constantly seeking because you feel like something is missing in your life? And I think we've seen that over the years.
I've felt that over the years.
Yeah, you've definitely felt it. And again, it's because you've come from such a humble background. Like you weren't trying to be, famous to any degree. You weren't trying to be rich. You weren't trying to...
It was just a hobby. It was just for fun.
You were sharing a piece of what you love with, an audience that, and the audience started at zero. It wasn't like you had a ready-made audience for you.
No. I feel like that is my mental health check-in with you guys. I don't know whether we should do this as a regular thing at the end of every video, or like once a month at the end of I don't know. I feel like this was really nice to just chat about life a bit at the end. I would also like to say a huge thank you to Boots for partnering up with me for this video. Boots is a brand that I have loved for years. Fun fact, I actually applied for a job there back in my early or mid 20s, I think it was, just before I quit my career. I was in the final stages to be in their PR team, and I didn't get it, but it's so amazing that I get to work with them in this way now. So yeah, just a big huge thank you to Boots. Well, I'm gonna finish my chia seed water off, have my protein shake, and start work. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do let me know if there are any other videos you would like to see from me. That is everything from my end, and I will see you all in the next one.